Hi, in this video we're going to look at phase 2 of customizing your YouTube channel. Now by this point you should already know how to create a channel, get to it, upload video into that channel, create playlists. You should know how to create subscriptions as well. And then you should know how to upload your banner picture and your profile picture. Now we're going to look at basically how to lay out the content on that home page. Okay, so as always, you're going to go to switch account. You're going to check that you are in the correct channel. And then you are going to go, same icon, and go to your channel. Okay, so we can see here now that I've uploaded videos. I have 4 of those. I've created a series of playlists. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back to the home page and just lay out this area, which is the page that most users are going to interact with most often if they come to your channel, if they're not just looking at an individual video. So in order to do this, you're going to click on Customize Channel. It's going to bring you across to Studio. We discussed Studio in a previous video, so you know now that you're no longer in that main YouTube section, but you're in kind of like the control room, the back end for creators. Okay, so you go to the Layout tab. The top section here is for videos that will appear at the top of the page. Okay, so this can be very useful for someone who's trying to build their brand, build their channel, market, etc., because it kind of puts one video on display. Okay, so this is optional. You don't have to do this. But it also lets you differentiate between people who have subscribed or not. And this is probably not something that's going to apply to you. Your students don't necessarily need to subscribe to your channel. You could have them. But if what it lets you do is pick one video for people who haven't subscribed and a different video for people who have subscribed, so they're returning users, returning viewers. Generally, in the real world, this non-subscriber video is an introduction to the site. Hey, this is what you're going to find. This is what we do here. We hope you subscribe. Click the subscribe button. But then you don't want to have that video up there for people who have subscribed, so you just put another one there. Just to see how it works, let's do that. I'm going to say add. It's going to just bring up my videos. I'm going to pick the first one. I'm going to pick the last one here for returning viewers so we can see the difference. And let me just publish that. And then I'm going to view the channel. Oh. So now you can see up here, this video loads for returning subscribers, and then a different one would load for people who haven't subscribed. Go back to Customize Channel. Just keeps opening tabs on me here. I'll close a couple of those up. So it's bringing me back now. And the main section here under Featured Sections is where you're going to lay out the bulk of your content. And getting this well organized makes it a lot easier for your users. Now you can add up to 10 sections here. And you'll see there's a variety of different ways you can add them. A lot of these things on the top would be more appropriate for a site that was attempting to build an audience or to monetize, etc. I think where we're going to spend most of our time is in these bottom 5. Okay, the first is called a single playlist. And if you click on that, you can see that it's calling up the different playlists I've created. So as long as you've put your videos, organized them in the playlist, like this particular one is about physical education, and there's 6 videos. They're not even things I've created. Some of these have videos I've created, and some of them are just videos that I put into a list from the internet. But if I click on this, it's going to show them as individual videos in the chain. And if this exceeds the amount of available space, there'll simply be a tool on the end so that we can scroll through and see the rest of them. So you would have had to put them in a list, put them in a playlist, and then simply selected that list. The second one is created playlists. And what that would do is it would take all of the lists that you've created. So if you've created 10 different playlists, it would pick them all out. And it's going to display them as playlists. So they're not individual videos, but they're lists of videos. So in this case, we've got 4, 6, 4, 5, and 1. So we've got, about 20 videos all together, even though they're nested in just 5 groups. The third option there is multiple playlists. Now this allows you to do what we just did. It allows you to pick playlists instead of videos to display in the menu. But it allows you, instead of putting them all up, it would allow you simply to pick the ones you wanted to use. So I'll pick the top 4. Okay, all different ways to group your videos. Once they're in there, you can edit the section content, or, even before, what I failed to do is put a title in here. So I'll call this subject area videos. Okay, so you can see that the multiple playlists, the title has been changed here. It's telling you that it's a total of 4, but I was able to pick the title. Now, revisiting the creative playlists created, notice the only thing I can do is remove it. This title of created playlists is what I'm not going to be able to edit. Likewise, if I do a single playlist, I can edit the contents. I can pick a different list, or I can view it, but it's going to pick up its title from the playlist itself. So if I want to change this, how this displays, I've got to change the name of the playlist. Okay, last 2 options here, or last 2 that we're going to cover, is I'm going to go under subscriptions. Now, I set my global settings for this channel that my subscriptions could be public. Okay, you do that under the icon settings. And now I'm just going to say, take those subscriptions and display them. So basically, again, I don't have a choice about this. I don't have a lot of, different options here. I can't rename it. Those are the subscriptions that I subscribe to. And last alternative is to say featured channels. Now, when you say featured channels, I'm going to give it a section title. This week's probably come up with a better one than that. And you can search for them in a variety of ways. I could put kids, physics. Oh, good. And then crash course in physics. I'm going to add that over here. Kids physics. Physics for kids. I'm going to add that. But you know what? I just searched for this. I haven't really, seen these. I mean, I could go to YouTube and find these channels and get them. Or instead of doing something like a search by topic, notice that when I remove that search, these remain. I could simply go to YouTube. Let's just say that this is the channel that I really like. It's TED Ed. Okay. So basically, if I copy this, you can see that this is a channel address. It says right there, channel. It's a channel address, not a video address. If I put that in the search term, it's going to find that, and that may actually be posted in more than one place. But then I can add that. And if I say done there, now I get these channels that I'm not subscribed to, but that I've chosen to display. Now I'm going to publish this. and I will view the channel. What you're going to notice when you do this, oh, there you go. Okay, they all come up. Sometimes they're a little delayed. Sometimes they don't come up right away. But if you come back 5 minutes later, they're there. So let's take a look. We have our featured video up at top. We have our single playlist. So these are all single videos that came from this mathematics playlist. And there are 4 of them, so they all display. These are all the playlists I've created. And it's displaying 4 lists. Like if I click on one, it opens up and it shows me all the videos. They're going to play through all of them. Sorry. Or this one. This has 6 in it. So all listed over there. And since I had more than 4 created playlists, I get this little arrow over here to slide over. And if I had 20 of them, I might have to use that arrow a couple of times. Okay, this is the same as the one above, except instead of doing all my created playlists, I exercised a little more control on this one, multiple playlists, and was able to select them. Now, I couldn't change the title up here for my multiple playlists. But you can see that the title of each playlist displays there, so it works out pretty well. Here are my subscriptions. So people can see what I'm following if I choose to make those public. But then here are the channels that I'm not subscribed to, but I chose to add. So again, a little more control. Last thing about this process is you don't necessarily have to use all of those options. In other words, I could just have a series of single playlists. I could do 5 of them. If I was a math teacher, maybe I have a whole bunch of them on fractions, and I have geometry ones, and I have, various different topics. So you have a lot of choice here in how you lay it out. But that's basically how you're going to customize your channel. This Manage Videos link, which we haven't used to this point, simply brings us back to the studio and brings us back to our videos here. But we could have gotten there in another way. We could have, from YouTube itself, I could have always just come here and gone to YouTube Studio, and I would have gotten there as well. The last thing I want to show you before we end is this little magic wand down here. That's just a shortcut to bring you back here. So you could have gotten there by saying customize channel. And if you notice, that's what brings you to the wand. But if you were in Studio already, you could have just come in here to access those tools directly.